When we heard we were getting a show on The Bad Batch, there were a lot of mixed feelings of how it would turn out. Now that the first season is over, let's rewind, take a step back, and see if The Bad Batch was worth the build-up. I want to be extra careful, so if you haven't seen The Bad Batch yet, consider yourself warned. To start us off, we got a 1.5 hour opening episode, which is unheard of for a Star Wars show. The theme was dark and mysterious as we saw the events of Order 66 take place with the killing of Jedi Master Dibba B'Elanna and her Jedi Padawan escaping Kanan Jarrus. The show did a great job of transitioning from what we last saw in the Clone Wars final season of how the Republic was changed into the Empire. It answered a lot of questions like how the regular clones reacted to the change, did Clone Force 99 execute Order 66, how did the Empire function from the start, and many other things that we didn't get to see on screen yet. Now with the amazing hour-and-a-half opening to the show, expectations were lifted and were high for the upcoming episodes. It was nice seeing Cut Lawquane again, who was a clone deserter that Rex met during the Clone Wars, and to see where he and his family had been up to. But after the nice reunion, the episodes just felt like a filler after filler. Now I get that not every episode needs to be all guns a-blazing, and that you need episodes where it grows the character's development, but in my opinion, it didn't feel like we got much development from the Bad Batch. It was more of crash landing on some moon and doing another errand run for Sid. Now there were times in these episodes where the story was moving along, but it was too quick and brief to the point where it felt like we didn't get to go deeper into the story and just rushed over it. I'm not completely hating on the show, but when you get multiple episodes just seeing the crew do work for Sid, and they get something interesting 6 episodes in, it kind of feels dragged on. For example, we see the Bad Batch help Bib Fortuna rescue Jabba's Rancor Muchi. It was a nice little Easter egg, but would you rather see that, or the squad help find Ahsoka, Cal Kestis, or try to start a clone rebellion against the Empire? If you enjoy these episodes, then I'm glad you do. But for me, I would rather like to see the story move forward and delve deeper into the nitty gritty than have it feel like a waste of time. Now, I'll play devil's advocate and switch it around and say that season 1 was meant to be this way. Now with questions like, what happened to Hauser and the squad who denied the Empire's orders? Why was Delta Squad on Daro training newbies instead of heading dangerous missions? And how did the rebellion of the Twi'leks turn out? With seeing all these events and the Bad Batch traveling to all these different areas, it shows us what was going on in the galaxy and how different planets reacted to the age of the Empire. With leaving stories and characters with a slight cliffhanger, it helps the world building and expanding on where the squad can catch up later. Yes, we didn't get to see Hauser show up later and find out what happened, but what if he's meant to show up in season 2 for a bigger story arc rather than a quicker one this season? Season 1 might have had a lot of filler, but it gives season 2 and maybe beyond that a chance to expand and explore deeper into these stories. So even though we might be a little disappointed, there might be a bigger picture behind the scenes that we just can't see yet. Something else that was great about the show was the animation. We all love the Clone Wars style animation, but in the Bad Batch, I felt like they took everything from Clone Wars Season 7, polished it, and took it up a notch. It looked stunning, and some of the environmental scenes were amazing. Just seeing the lighting on Kamino, Daro, and Raxus were fantastic. Another thing that I think people looked over was the music. First off, the theme for the Bad Batch is already iconic as it sounds like cavalry is riding in to save the day.
Cavalry has arrived!
And 2, the background music gives off an ambient Tron sound that just hits right in certain scenes. What would I rate the first season of Bad Batch? Well, with a stellar opening, a ton of filler episodes, nice Easter eggs, good world building, amazing graphics, and stellar music and sound, I would give it a solid 6 out of 10.